Welcome to South Jersey Business with Joe Molyneux. On today's program, we will turn the South Jersey spotlight on a number of quality businesses that help drive our local economy. These are the people and places providing the products and services to support our region, our state, and our national economy. As we have long known, the entrepreneurs and those that support business play a vital role in the health and development of our communities. As part of our South Jersey Business Spotlight, each of today's guests will share the what, how, who, and why of the businesses they operate and the customers they serve. Let's turn on the spotlight. Welcome back. It's now time to shine the spotlight on Ellie Hagan, founder and owner of Body and Balance, and gain some extra illumination on exactly what Body and Balance brings to the business table right here in South Jersey. Ellie, what do you do at Body and Balance?
At Body and Balance, we offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, yoga therapy, lymphedema therapy.
Programs as well?
Programs as well. Yes, we offer it all.
That's great. How do you do what you do? I know you have a talented team, but how do you manage to do all those different services and the additional program that you provide out of your space?
I work very hard. I'm passionate about what I do, and I want to be successful at it.
That's great. And you have a strong team behind you as well.
Oh, definitely a strong team.
Now, can we talk a little bit about, I've been to your space, I've been to your center, I've seen what you do. Can we talk about who makes up your customer base?
My customer base is anyone who needs help with their balance, with their posture, with their musculoskeletal or neuromuscular problems. Most of my patients are in a older population, but we also treat children for scoliosis and young athletes who have had injuries to their limbs.
After 13 years of doing the work you've been doing in your own space, how important is the design of the space to the work you get done? I've noticed there's a lot of functionality and movement. You can hold seminars in some rooms. And how important is the design of the space to meet the needs of your customer, client, patient, and your own personal needs?
The design of the space is very crucial. If you were to look at my building, it would not be the perfect layout, but we've made the best of what we have, and we utilize every inch of space that we have.
Yeah, I noticed it every time I'll visit your location. There's a lot of smiles on people's faces, of course, but it seems like the work's getting done in a very organized way, even the way they're greeted,
right,
and the space is designed that way.
It's that team effort.
I love it. I guess this is a little more heartfelt of an answer, but why do you do what you do?
I'm just passionate about this. I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about the Parkinson's. I'm passionate about anyone that's suffering from chronic illness.
That's a very noble cause, to go out and know that every day you're going to help somebody, and I think it needs to be applauded, of course. But I have one more question for you. You've owned and operated this business for 13 years. You work every day at it. You've added the Parkinson's Life Center of Southern New Jersey to the mix. How do you balance, just to borrow a word from your practice, how do you balance the business and then every other element of your life?
I'm still learning how to do that. It's a challenge, and I'm still learning.
You're doing a great job with it.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for allowing us to turn the spotlight on Body and Balance.
Thank you for having me.
That was today's Spotlight, providing a clear view of Body and Balance with offices in Linwood, New Jersey. We'll be right back with more South Jersey Business. Welcome back. And now it's time to shine the spotlight on the South Jersey beer scene and gain some extra illumination on the work they do covering the craft beer scene right here in South Jersey. John, can you talk a little bit about what the South Jersey beer scene is?
We're a news and information website and affiliated podcast that covers all the news for South Jersey's vibrant and really growing fast craft beer scene.
Now, that's a pretty big area, South Jersey.
It is.
How do you do what you do?
Well, it's not just me, and it's not just Tom, it's not just Tara, it's just not Karen. We have 5 or 6 other writers that help us, led by Vix Balo, who is our Ocean County representative and runs our whole home brewing outfit. And I listen to their suggestions and let them go out and do what they want to do and get the news from where they're at and spread it amongst everyone here in South Jersey. It's a big area and things are going on all over the place. We kind of unite that area.
Yeah, and plus it makes it vibrant.
Exactly.
The third piece of this would be, who do you do it for? So who makes up your customer base of the readership and the people that are listening and watching what you're doing?
So first and foremost, it's just craft beer enthusiasts, not just here in South Jersey, but all over. It's regional. You know, we're a destination for alcohol tourism now with the wineries, distilleries, and breweries, and it's a good place for them to get information about what's going on in South Jersey.
How receptive have the breweries been to your platform and your coverage of the industry?
Almost to a brewery, almost to a person, it's been overwhelmingly supportive for us. Before we did this, we went and talked to people and were like, will you even talk to us? Like, do we have any credibility? So we had a lot of friends that we knew in the business and they helped us out and get a start to give us some credibility so other people can see what they're doing. I get routine calls from people that own breweries and bars and bottle shops, and as Tom does and Tara gets emails and Karen does, you know, because we have the respect. We've earned the respect because we do what we do truthfully and enthusiastically for the community.
Well, 100% you're building a community, which brings us to the more motivational part of this spotlight. Why do you guys do what you do? Why do you do what you do?
I love writing. I love craft beer. I love doing stuff with my wife and my friends, and it ties it all together. It's a fun topic. People are excited about it. It's growing, and it's something we didn't have in New Jersey really until 5 years ago, well, 6 years ago. But I mean, it's something that's really growing that people love, and it's great to be a part of it. We're right in the middle of the mix. We get invited to a lot of things. That's the perk. But I mean, just to be enthusiastic about something. It's like when you were a kid, you were enthusiastic about baseball. You'd ride down the field and play pickup games all week. This is the same thing for us. It's adult baseball in a sense that we do this because we love what we do.
I think it's great that you can combine your passion and your profession, and also the way you described why you do what you do. That might be one of the best formulas for success in any business that I've ever heard. John, I want to thank you for allowing us to turn the spotlight on the South Jersey beer scene.
Thanks for having us.
Once again, the spotlight here at South Jersey Business gave us a better look into the South Jersey beer scene and what they offer. We'll be right back with more South Jersey Business. Michael, can we talk a little bit about what sort of products you offer to the customers you serve?
Sure. Wine, spirits, beer, artisanal cheeses, growler fills, which are 64-ounce containers of craft beer. We have 16 taps at our Summers Point location that rotate just the hottest craft beers throughout the country.
Yeah.
And a whole lot more.
Who makes up your customer base?
Who? Well, listen, it's locals within our community, Summers Point, Egg Harbor Township, but we also have become a destination store. So we pull from all of Atlantic and Cape May County, but the third store that I often reference is PassionVines.com. So we have customers all over the country. We ship to every permissible state all year round.
You know, when you called it the third store, that's awesome because I know you're spending a lot of time and energy on that internet to be able to reach those customers, and I think it's great, especially because we have a high seasonal influx within our region, and those folks can stay connected with you even when they go back to their original state or home state.
That's exactly right.
Why do you do what you do, and what inspires you? What motivates you to keep this going?
Absolutely, the power of why. For me, the why is everything. Why we do it is ultimately to connect our passion with the customer. We do it in a couple different ways. Like I said, it starts with our coworkers. right? We truly believe that it's more than just a job. It's a place where you can learn, grow, and do repeatedly. And then in turn, you can make meaningful connections with people that shop with us. And in the same way that we are growing internally, right, as a team, we can then start that journey with our customers. And so whether it's literally just allowing that customer to learn one new fact about a Cabernet Sauvignon that they didn't know when they started, or whether it's coming to a master class, there's so many avenues. But what I know in the end is that when you're learning, you're growing, and when you're growing, you're at your best.
Wow, that's great. I really feel like you've nailed not only the spotlight, but you've also talked to me and clearly defined your passion. And I want to thank you for being part of the spotlight today, Michael.
Thank you, Joe. It's an honor.
Thank you. That was Michael Bray, founder of Passion Vines Wine and Spirit Company. We'll be right back with more South Jersey Business. Kelly, at your CPA firm, what types of services do you offer your clients?
Well, Joe, as I said, I am a sole proprietor. You come to me, you get me. No, staff person or anything. It's me. I do individual tax returns. I do corporate tax returns. I do partnership tax returns. I'll look over organizational documents. I am there to consult you. I'm there to help you start your own business. You name it, I got it.
Who are the types of clients that you see? I know we mentioned some of them earlier in the show as far as types, but can you go back over those, the different types of categories you would work with as far as businesses and organizations?
Sure. As I said, most of my clients have been with me, since the beginning. I've grown a lot, but my clients are, as I said, individuals who maybe are just starting out. I have a lot of those clients, young entrepreneurs with different business ideas and different plans. I also have, as I've been here for 13 years, a lot of my client base has gotten older. So that they have retirement questions. They have, when should I get Social Security? Those kind of things have come up as the years have gone on.
That's interesting because I'm sure when you started out, you really didn't think about maturing as a business, your business and your practice, along with the businesses of the companies maturing, but that has happened and you've grown together.
I now have people calling me about, I'm out of here, I need a buyout plan, where it wasn't that way at first, right?
That's interesting. So how do you do what you do? I know there's some rules that you have to follow, but if you could sum up how you do what you do, how do you do it?
Oh, definitely, being a CPA, there are rules you have to follow. There's rules and regulations and code and ethics and all of that. But how do I do it? I do it. It gets done. I'm a doer. You need to, ask a busy person if you need things done.
That's a good way to look at it. So we covered a lot of it, but we have to get to the why. Why do you do it?
Why do I do it? I started this journey when I was in college. I was a journalism major. That was a little bit too gray for me. A friend suggested you need something more black and white. So here it is, accounting, and it's 30 years later, and it was a good choice for me. I think being a CPA has allowed me a ton of flexibility. I've worked for huge firms, small firms, and clients, and seen all kinds of things. And why do I do it? I actually enjoy it.
This is great.
I do.
Led me into this final question.
Numbers are a good thing.
Well, you've led me into this final question when you mentioned 30 years. You're a huge Dave Matthews Band fan, right? This is going to be a little off topic. So if you could pick one
You saw
Dave...
the sticker on my car.
I did see the sticker,
Yes.
and on your phone.
Yeah.
If I could ask you if you could pick one Dave song that sums up either the way you view life or work or whatever, what song would that be?
One Dave Matthews song that is the way I view life. Okay, that's a little bit different. Right now I'm very into I'm Alive. It's actually Kenny Chesney and Dave. I love that duet.
That's great. It's just taking it one day at a time, doing what you got to do to get it done.
And I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's about doing it, right?
It is.
That's perfect.
It is.
Well, thank you very much, Kelly. That was
No,
very
really, thank you for having me, Joe.
informative, and I'm glad you were part of the spotlight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Certified Public Accountant Kelly Batts, the focus of the spotlight for today's show. We'll be right back with more South Jersey Business. I hope you're enjoying the show. Just a quick reminder during this special Spotlight feature to also tune into our traditional show, which will be going into its 3rd season. It is our main show where we interview business owners from around the region, provide a themed business drill to help you and your business grow, check out how our guests help the local community, and answer a viewer question. And of course, focus the spotlight on exactly what our guests are all about. Speaking of spotlights, let's get back to the show. John, what are some of the events that you and the Good Time Tricycle team produce?
Wow, we got an actual pile of them. We just pile them up and just have a good time. So we do the Atlantic City Beer and Music Festival. We do a variety of different style tattoo expos. We do the Cider Social. We do midget wrestling. Not PC, but it's awesome. So, all lifestyle stuff. Our wheelhouse is very lifestyle oriented. We look at what people are into, what they're doing, and what drives them and gets them out of their house.
Well, I love that there's such a diversity in your offering. So this next question of who is your target market is going to change event by event. But do you begin with the event or do you begin with the audience when you're planning these events? Because you mentioned lifestyle.
A little bit of both. So what we do is we look at lifestyle trends, right? Hop on the internet, go to a different event. Look what kind of draws people in, where people's interests lie. And then we look at that program, we put a pin in it, we say, okay, that's awesome. That moves bodies. So who are those bodies now? And then we start to kind of seek out, well, who are these interest seekers? Who are into widgets? I never thought I'd use widgets in a conversation. So who are into these widgets? And then we kind of build it around there. And then how do we touch these widget lovers? And find that. And then we say, okay, well, we're doing an event around widgets. So let's create sub-profiles around those widgets that while people are looking at widgets, we can distract them so they can look at other things. And maybe, hey, that's another widget that they might be into. This is how this happened. We started our beer festival, right? Beer grew and grew and grew and grew, and we started to add ciders. And why did we add ciders? Because we wanted to see if there was an interest, almost like a gigantic focus group. And we saw people kind of going towards ciders. We knew that we could get away with doing a cider program, hence Cider Social was born. So we use our own concepts to tease and test people with other concepts.
It's great. You just did a great job of answering the how after the who and the what. So now we get to the why. What drives you? What inspires you? Year over year, you come up with new ideas. Talk about what inspires you, please.
What inspires me? I'm inspired by success, right? When a program works, I'm inspired. But on the flip side, when a program doesn't work, we did an event a bunch of years ago called the Average Joe Expo. Fell flat on my face. Just might as well have set a pile of money on fire, danced around it, hoped it rained. But I learned a lot from it. And one thing I did learn was, if you take your lumps, your wins feel that much better because you know what the down was like. So as bad as it hurt to get beat up, it was inspiring to go, okay, so I'm not invincible and don't do that again. And here's what you have to do to fix what you're doing. And it kind of propped me up. Like, I think I worked harder that next year after that on every other program we had. I attribute a lot of our kind of black eyes to the success of the program.
Well, I want to say you're not only a producer, you are a creator. And I want to thank you for the creativity because it results in thousands of people coming to South Jersey. And above that, the other areas that you also produce events in. So I want to thank you for not only that, but for sharing time with us in the Business Spotlight today.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
That was John Henderson, President and Executive Event Producer at Good Time Tricycle. We'll be right back with more South Jersey business. Welcome back. And now it's time to shine the spotlight on Lauren Simonson, owner of Heyday Coffee, and gain some extra illumination on exactly what Heyday Coffee brings to the business table right here in South Jersey. Lauren, can you talk a little bit about what Heyday does?
Yeah, absolutely. So Heyday is Atlantic City's coffee shop. We are the only independent coffee shop in Atlantic City, and so we're there to really fill this gap that's existed, obviously in getting some really good coffee and baked goods and all kinds of fun things like that, but also a space where the community can gather and intersect from all different parts of Atlantic City as well as the South Jersey area.
Now, a lot goes into that. So how do you do that? How do you do that every day?
Yeah, so I mean, we're really lucky. There's 3 of us, and so we're all sort of focusing on different areas of the business. I'm acting as the general manager, so I'll be in the shop most of the time. All 3 of us are trained and actively working as baristas, which is a really fun and cool thing that we didn't think we'd ever know how to do. We have some employees who help get the things done day to day within the shop, and then, you know, whenever we're not there, we're working on other things for the business: marketing, making connections, sales, meeting people, going to different events, doing some philanthropy, things like that. So just really being a part of the Atlantic City community as much as we can.
Now, of course, coffee has a wide appeal, but who makes up the majority, or who makes up your customer base? Maybe not the majority, but who makes up the customer base?
Yeah, it's been really cool. We have a really great base of customers that live and work in Atlantic City, as well as we've seen folks that come in for conferences and just tourists to the city. They come in, they look for coffee, and they find us because they're looking to try something that has some authenticity to it and a little bit more of a story behind it. And then, you know, folks have actually come from as far as Philly and New York that just knew they were coming to Atlantic City, had already heard about our coffee shop, and were really looking forward to checking it out. And that's been really cool too.
Well, just a follow-up to that, we all know that Atlantic City has one of the most diverse populations anywhere in South Jersey. And when I visit your store, I see that diversity. I hear that diversity in the conversation, and I see the diversity. How great is that you've created that? And was that part of the business model, or was it just a byproduct of doing the right thing and having the right mix of people come to the store?
Yeah, I mean, that's really important to us. We really want to be a space where everybody feels like they can come and be comfortable and have a cup of coffee. And we lived outside of this area for a long time, lived in other cities all over the world. And, you know, that's something that exists everywhere. Is the coffee shop is the kind of like meeting point, you know, and so we wanted that for Atlantic City. And if we weren't seeing that, then we'd know we need to be doing something differently, because that's really important.
Absolutely, that's a great answer. I guess this is more of a reflective part of the questions, but why do you do what you do? How and why did the 3 of you guys get together? What drives you? What motivates you to do what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, we grew up here, and like I said, we've lived all over, and we really wanted to see the things that made us feel like we wanted to live somewhere else here in our community in Atlantic City. You know, Atlantic City has such a vibrant history, and as you said, it's such a diverse community. We really want it to be a place that people want to come to and want to stay in for reasons outside of what they maybe have in the past few years. The casinos are great, and they've brought a lot to the city, but there's so much more that Atlantic City has to offer, and we really want to see that revival. It's exciting for us. You know, we're getting to do something that we wouldn't be able to do anywhere else, and it's in our hometown. You know, so it's a thing that we can bring our friends to and tell people about that we've met in other walks of life. And you always want that, you know, you want to be excited about where you're from. And we were hoping to be a part of that for folks in Atlantic City.
All right, not normally part of the spotlight, but you did say you were a barista, and so are your partners. What's your go-to beverage when you're ready to grab a beverage? How does Lauren get her beverage served?
Well, I actually drink the cold brew like all day, every day, all year round. It's my absolute favorite thing to drink.
That's perfect, and it's a
Yeah.
great way to wrap up this segment. I want to thank you for allowing us to turn the spotlight on Heyday Coffee in Atlantic City.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
That was today's Spotlight, providing a clear view of Heyday Coffee, located on Tennessee Avenue in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We'll be right back with more South Jersey business. Mike, let's talk about what you do at Atlantic City Your Way.
Well, very simply is we created a cyber tourism Atlantic City platform to allow the consumer to build an all-inclusive vacation a la carte, and the end result is an all-inclusive per person price. and then we deliver the goods. They pay us, and then we pay for everything and make all the reservations and arrangements. And when the guest shows up, all they have to do is come here and have fun.
Well, that sort of describes how you do what you do, but it's a little deeper than that, right? You have a team behind you that helps you maintain all those relationships as well as the platform itself, correct?
Yes, it's all about relationships. I can't send anybody to a hotel if I don't have a way of making a reservation in relationships. And the big advantage we have starting out is my last job before I started this business was working in the hotel industry as a director of sales, and I've worked at several Atlantic City hotels. So the main thing you need to start a vacation is lodging. So that gave me a leg up because I knew everybody, and people were willing to give me a chance, and that's what got me started.
Who makes up your customer base?
The clientele is different depending on the market segment. Like we have a golf vacation site, golfac.com, and that is primarily men 35 to 65 years old who come down with a group of guys in the spring and the fall as an all-inclusive golf vacation. And then we have guys getaways, and we market to them more social media-wise, and those are, 20-somethings to early 30s, and then we have ladies, and then we have families, which are young families looking for something to do. So our customers vary, and our websites are custom designed to each market segment.
The final question would be, why do you do what you do? What drives you?
What drives me is a vision of Atlantic City being more than just casinos, and that was enough at one time. But my background is really tourism and packaging, and Atlantic City has more than anybody could ever offer, and being so close to such major markets, if they were aware that we had great boating, fishing, nightlife, spas, you name it, it's all here. And we just have to get the word out, and if we do and we get them to our sites, we have the technology and the experience to create a tremendous vacation right here in Atlantic City.
I want to thank you for allowing us to turn the spotlight on Atlantic City your way.
My pleasure.
That was Mike Charlton, founder and creator of Atlantic City Your Way. We'll be right back with more South Jersey Business. Well, that's the show. We turned the South Jersey Business Spotlight on a number of businesses that help drive our local economy. We explored the what, how, who, and why for each guest, the businesses they operate, and the customers they serve. Once again, thank you to Stockton University and everyone that makes this program possible. Let's do it again next week. And until then, let's get growing, South Jersey. Thanks for watching.